Oh, yes. I just reached in my backpack and thought I'd get the Bible. Yes. And, oh no. And the king sent, and they entered unto him all the elders of Judah and of Jerusalem. Yes. Second Kings 23. And the kings went up into the house of the Lord, and all the men of Judah, and all the inhabitants of Jerusalem with him, and the priests, and the prophets, and all the people, both small and great. And he read in their ears all the words of the book of the covenant which had been found in the house of the Lord. And the king stood by a pillar and made a covenant before the Lord to walk after the Lord, yeah, and to keep his commandments and his testimonies and his statutes in all their heart and all their soul. Yes, to perform the words of this covenant which were written in this book. And all the people stood to the covenant. Oh, look at that. They found that book. You know, a lot of these kings in the Old Testament, yes, they didn't really do what the statute said. Yes, and these covenants. And when the king had found it, they thought, oh, we better do what it says. Now, these laws, yes, known as state statutes, yeah, federal laws. We have a law called the Patriot Act, yes, where every business has to back up in a remote location all of their business records in the event of some sort of cataclysmic event. Now, this king, he went to the house of the Lord, and everybody, he read in their ears all the words of the book of the covenant, which was found in the house of the Lord. They found it. Yes. And they decided they'd keep all the commandments and the testimonies and the statutes with all their heart and all their soul to perform the words of this covenant which were written in this book. And all the people stood to the covenant. Now, it's really nice how a lot of people, they say, well, we're going to do what the law says. We're going to do it. I'm in law enforcement, and I would never intentionally delete somebody else's emails, even though I have their password, or I would knowingly violate the laws of the United States. And quite often those in law enforcement say, well, you can't do anything. I'm like, well, do you know what the law says? Do you know what the penalty of perjury is? Now, I know you wouldn't believe me because you thought you'd say I was mentally ill. Pow! But when you said with all your heart and with all your soul that you would support and defend the Constitution of the United States, I said that if you didn't do that, ooh, you are personally liable. Now, let's say 3 years ago, it was Thanksgiving of 2015. Yes, I had informed law enforcement that my civil rights were being violated, called due process. That the petitioner didn't sign it and you issued it for 10 years. Pooh! And you said, well, we don't have to enforce the laws of the United States. I said you are personally liable for any knowledge you have of a crime. You said, with all of our heart and with all of our soul, we will support and defend the Constitution of this great nation. And for 3 years, you decided to. Well, looks like you're liable. Oh, you didn't do what you said, mother.